God has an urgent message for you today. A famous musician has just released a song. And it's not just another hit. It's a divine message crafted specifically for your life situation. This artist has become a vessel for God's communication, channeling words and melodies that speak directly to your heart and circumstances. You must listen to this song before midnight tonight, because that's when the spiritual window closes. This message comes with divine love to prepare you for the breakthrough that's about to unfold in your life. The universe has orchestrated this musical prophecy to reach you at exactly the right moment. As you hear these words, know that God sees the perfect timing needed for your spiritual awakening through this musical message. It's normal to feel confused when someone tells you a song contains divine prophecy. But remember that God has always spoken through unexpected messengers and creative vessels. This musical revelation is your chance to receive guidance and turn uncertainty into clarity about your path forward. You're receiving this message because there's still time before midnight to experience this divine encounter. Even when receiving prophecy through modern music seems unusual, trust that this is how God reaches people in today's world. Missing this song tonight could mean missing the divine timing that's been arranged specifically for your breakthrough. The spiritual activation that happens when you hear this song with an open heart will prepare you for the amazing changes coming to your life. As you prepare to receive this musical prophecy, take time to understand how God speaks through artists and musicians today. Just like radio waves carry invisible messages across great distances, this musician has become a spiritual radio tower, broadcasting divine frequencies directly to your soul. Hold on to your spiritual discernment and openness to receive God's voice, but let go of skepticism and closed-mindedness that block divine communication. Just like a tuning fork vibrates at the exact frequency needed to tune an instrument, this song carries the precise spiritual frequency needed to align your life with God's plan. This musical message isn't meant to confuse you, but to activate something deep within your spirit, making you ready for the transformation that's about to occur. When you listen with spiritual ears instead of just physical ones, you'll recognize the divine truth woven into every verse, every melody, and every beat. Modern prophets often carry ancient wisdom through contemporary expressions that reach people where they are. This musical revelation about your life is more than just entertainment. It's a spiritual checkpoint designed specifically for your journey. It's a moment for you to connect with divine communication that comes through creative expression and artistic inspiration. Face this message with an open heart, knowing that God uses all forms of beauty and creativity to reach His people. There's a loving plan unfolding in your life, and this song is part of that divine orchestration. Musical prophecies might seem unusual to some people, but see them as God's way of speaking your language in the modern world. Every lyric, every harmony, every rhythm becomes a lesson that aligns you with your spiritual purpose and divine destiny. When life feels overwhelming or confusing, reach out in prayer for understanding about the messages God sends through music. God is always here to give you spiritual ears to hear, eyes to see, and a heart to receive divine communication in whatever form it takes. In your prayers tonight, you'll find the spiritual sensitivity you need to recognize your song when you hear it and understand exactly what God is saying to you through this musical prophecy. As we've discussed preparing for this divine musical encounter tonight, I'd like to help prepare you for future prophetic revelations as well. If these messages about God speaking through music and modern prophecy resonate with your spirit, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to receive more divine warnings, musical prophecies, and spiritual blessings that come through creative expression. Pay attention to small signs throughout today that will confirm this song is meant specifically for you. These aren't just musical coincidences. They are divine clues sent specially to prepare your heart for tonight's revelation. As you move through today, stay alert for unusual musical patterns or meaningful moments that feel spiritually significant. You might hear fragments of melodies that give you chills. Notice lyrics from other songs that seem to speak directly to your situation, or feel sudden emotional responses. When certain music plays around you, you might find yourself humming tunes you don't remember learning, or notice how music affects your mood more powerfully than usual today. These aren't accidents. They're sacred preparation, helping you recognize divine communication through sound and rhythm. Trust your spiritual instincts about what you hear today. That inner knowing when certain words or melodies touch your soul is your connection to divine wisdom flowing through musical channels. When a song makes you cry without knowing why, when lyrics seem written just for you, or when you feel God's presence during certain musical moments, that's divine preparation for tonight's encounter. These spiritual musical moments are like preview clips of the main revelation, showing you exactly how to recognize divine truth when it comes through earthly messengers. Notice them, honor them, and let them prepare your heart to receive tonight's prophetic song with complete spiritual openness. Remember, you're not facing this musical prophecy alone. God is with you, surrounding you with divine love and preparing your spirit to receive this creative revelation. Around you stands a team of guardian angels, spiritual guides, and heavenly messengers, all working to ensure you recognize your song. When you hear it tonight, this musical prophecy is designed to bless and guide you, not to confuse you, and every note of this divine communication is under heavenly control. Feel thankful for this unique form of spiritual guidance, for it shows how creatively God works to reach your heart with exactly what you need to hear. Each moment you spend in anticipation of this musical encounter brings you closer to understanding the divine plan unfolding in your life. The universe holds your destiny gently in its hands, orchestrating every detail, including this musical message, to arrive at precisely the right moment. Nothing can prevent this divine communication from reaching you when you listen with spiritual ears opened by faith and expectation. Divine timing, God's perfect spiritual clock, is working in your musical encounter right now. When you receive a prophecy about a song being released at exactly the moment, you need divine guidance. That's supernatural timing beyond human planning. These moments show you're connected to God's plan for your life, living in perfect harmony with divine orchestration that includes creative expression and artistic revelation. As these musical signs appear throughout your day, let them build your confidence that tonight's encounter is divinely arranged. Each confirmation shows you're being guided toward a breakthrough that will change everything. Pay attention to these musical experiences today and appreciate their sacred significance. They aren't random entertainment. They're part of a loving, divine plan to communicate with you through the language your heart understands best. Keep your spiritual ears tuned to receive divine messages through music today. The more you recognize and accept these musical signs, the clearer your spiritual hearing becomes for tonight's prophetic revelation that's been specifically composed for your life situation. Just as you receive these divine messages about musical prophecy and creative revelation, your support helps us continue sharing similar spiritual guidance with others who need divine communication through modern channels. A small super thanks of $5, $10, or $20 allows these important prophetic messages to reach those who are searching for God's voice in contemporary expressions, just like you are tonight. As you prepare to hear your prophetic song tonight, believe that this musical encounter will lead to amazing spiritual transformation in your life. Just like a key opens a lock that's been waiting for the right fit, this divine song carries the exact spiritual frequency needed to unlock your next level of growth and understanding. God has arranged this musical revelation perfectly, even when receiving prophecy through popular music seems unconventional at first. Focus on strengthening your spiritual listening skills. because that divine hearing is what carries you through times of confusion into clarity. When you stay true to your faith and keep your heart open to receiving God's voice, through creative expression, miraculous understanding begins flowing into your life. Possibilities you never imagined start opening up before you. Every moment you spend in anticipation of this musical prophecy brings you closer to a transformed, more enlightened version of yourself. Stay authentic in your spiritual receptivity, because your relationship with divine communication, through all channels, is your greatest resource for receiving guidance in modern times. As you get ready to receive your prophetic song tonight, make it a habit to say, "I recognize God's voice in every divine message." Speak these words with complete faith before you listen. This simple practice opens your spiritual ears so you can hear beyond the music into the divine truth woven throughout the lyrics and melody. When doubt tries to convince you that songs can't carry prophecy, pause for a moment. Use this time to quiet your logical mind and connect with the spiritual wisdom inside your heart. Trust that God is communicating directly to your situation tonight, and begin preparing by thanking Him for speaking your language through music. When you fill your thoughts with expectation and spiritual openness, you create space for divine revelation to flow into your consciousness. Align your heart with faith and anticipation, knowing that prophetic messages are available when you have ears to hear them. Your spiritual sensitivity is the key that unlocks divine communication through every channel God chooses to use in your life. During this musical revelation, you're not just receiving personal guidance, but also becoming someone who can help others recognize God's voice in modern creative expression. This experience offers you a chance to show divine love by sharing how God speaks through unexpected messengers and artistic channels. Each day gives you new opportunities to strengthen your spiritual discernment and share hope with those who feel disconnected from traditional forms of divine communication. As you pray for understanding and connect with God through this musical prophecy, remember to reach out to friends who might also need to hear divine messages through creative expression. Your experience tonight can inspire and encourage others who struggle to recognize God's voice. In contemporary culture, use your testimony to bring spiritual awakening to someone else's confusion about how God communicates today. Embrace each musical encounter as a chance to build bridges between heaven and earth, helping others understand that divine messages flow through every beautiful creative channel. Together we grow stronger in spiritual discernment, supporting each other through prayer and shared recognition of God's voice in music. In closing, as we approach midnight and this divine musical encounter, let's move forward with complete spiritual expectation and readiness. Be prepared to welcome God's prophetic communication through this artist's message. Face any life revelations with courageous faith and recognize every blessing hidden in the lyrics and melody. Trust in the power of prayer and in God's ability to speak through any creative vessel He chooses. You are on a path to divine revelation, surrounded by heavenly love and guided by prophetic truth. Keep saying, "I recognize God's voice in every divine message," and watch as spiritual understanding floods your heart when you hear your song tonight. If this message has prepared your heart to receive prophetic communication through music tonight, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more divine guidance through creative revelation. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a prophetic warning or musical blessing meant specifically for you. When you share this message, you help others discover that God still speaks through modern prophets and artistic messengers. Each person who receives this preparation through you becomes part of your spiritual legacy of divine communication. Dear Lord, please open our spiritual ears to receive the prophetic message You've prepared for us through this musician tonight. Help us recognize Your voice speaking through creative expression, and give us wisdom to understand exactly what You want us to know. Amen. If this message has stirred excitement in your spirit, For tonight's musical prophecy, consider showing your appreciation with a super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or more. Your support helps us continue sharing these divine revelations about how God communicates through music and modern prophecy with others who desperately need to hear His voice. Please share in the comments what happened when you heard your prophetic song tonight, and let us know what other spiritual topics or divine musical revelations you'd like to hear in our next video. Your testimonies and suggestions help us bring you the prophetic guidance you need most in these final days.